Chapter 5. In the Hut. When Myra quite safely entered the hut to meet with the Lord, whom she did not know yet so well, he got up and said to her in a somewhat serious tone, "Myra, where do you come from now, since I did not wave to you, but earlier you chose not to come when I beckoned you? In addition, I also gave Enoch instructions according to which no woman should be allowed to step over the threshold of the hut. And yet you came in. How did this happen?" This very sharp questioning tone caused Myra initially to lose a little courage. But she nevertheless regained her composure, thinking by herself, "If this is the Lord, he will not take it too seriously, and will become softened by my truly heart-deepest supplication. And if he's just a conservative wise man, in the worst case, I can always leave again as I have come here." Only after such considerations did she open her mouth and said somewhat shyly, "It is true that I have been wrong on the whole. But if I think of it that the distress of my heart compelled me to do this, and that Enoch did not tell me anything of a commandment not to enter the hut, then I have not done anything wrong. After all, who should or who wants to blame a sufferer in great distress who calls for help, or a sufferer who searches for assistance, and this even more so if a weak female creature calls for help or searches for assistance, just as I happen to be such a poor creature? And what actually is it that's so terribly wrong that I have done? Is it then not right if also a female person loves and respects God more than all the people, who, put together, are purely nothing against God? Thus I also told the mothers and sisters my opinion, because I could not have known that this will have such a distressing effect on them. If I had known, I certainly could have kept quiet. However, what is done is done. But I now want to make up for my mistake 1,000 times, and this can't be possibly wrong." This I also told Father Enoch, but he did not have a heart for me and my great distress. That's why I ran to you, because I thought you would be more merciful than Enoch. But after your initial reception, it seems that you do not have more mercy than Enoch. In general, I must openly confess to you that since the time when the Lord on the hill has taught nothing but love for several days, that the people appear to me a lot less merciful than ever before. And that is, in my view, not a good sign. But if it were up to me, I would on the spot like to help the whole world, let alone only a weak female person, in which anyway is both by God and nature placed in an incomprehensibly more adverse and suffering situation than any man. Behold, I have now finished speaking, and spoke as it was in my heart. If you do not like it, and I unintentionally have offended you, you are powerful enough to either throw me out, or you can do with me as you previously have done with Sihel outside. For it is better not to be, than to be in a world where people have hearts of stone, in which there is no mercy. Thereafter the Lord said to Myra, "But here, Myra, this was a long answer to my short question. One half you probably could have kept to yourself, and be silent about the other, because I know better than you why the shoe doesn't fit you. But so you may see that I am right, I want to explain to you your actual, real distress, and thus hear me out. See, your mothers and sisters are jealous, and so are you. Your mothers reviled out of jealousy about me and my behaviour, and you have then rebuked them out of sheer jealousy, for you secretly adopted a greater right to me because of my beckoning gesture than the others, to whom I did not gesture. Because of my gesture to you, you immediately ignited the deepest love for me. But when later you heard the mothers' and sisters' reproach about me, your love for me was insulted, and through your good opinion, you took revenge on your mothers and sisters. But since your revenge was somewhat more effective than you wanted it to be, you now feel bad about it, and you would like to help those who are now suffering. But since this is not possible for you, you are looking for help. I tell you, however, that help will come, and this sooner than you had expected. But in the meantime, go outside and think about your misstep, and then come to me with a clean heart, and I will accept you and bless you like these four. Here Myra blushed with shame and said, "If you would not be the Lord, my heart could not be so open to you. But you are the Lord, and therefore nothing is hidden from you. And I will now contentedly leave the hut of which I am not worthy, since I have seen you and recognized you fully. But forgive me my trespasses, as I indeed forgive with my whole heart everybody, everything, by whatever I have been offended by anyone ever." And the Lord said, "Yes, I would forgive you endlessly many things, if you were a sinner, because you love me so much. But you are innocent. Thus stay here with me according to your heart, and Enoch will take care of the rest." Amen.